First, I want to say hello.
Pleasure. Glad to be here.
What are some life skills that help you get where you are right now?
Yeah, I think just what your shirt say speaks to kind of what I try to live by. There's a quote by Frederick Douglass that says, "If we build strong children, we won't have to repair broken adults." Like I said, if we build strong boys, we won't have to repair broken men. So that aspect of Black men will rise. I have a mentorship group called Boys to Books, as well as Gifted for Greatness. And our motto is about literacy, leadership, life skills, enrichment. But we also have 4 principles we live by, which is RISE, ironically: responsibility, identity, success, and education. So I think us as men, there's no respectability without responsibility. So from shifting from boyhood to manhood is about being responsible, whether that's cleaning up your room, whether that's doing your homework, whether that's respecting your community and your elders in the community. Then identity, you got to know who you are. We got to understand that us as Black men, Black boys becoming Black men, we don't come from slaves. Royalty is in our DNA. We come from kings and queens. So wearing your crown, knowing who you are, knowing whose you are. If you don't know who you are, people tell you what you're not. Success as well. I'm listening to, my brother talk about you all 3.5 and 9.5 and 3.0 and all this other stuff. So that's what success is all about. And that's through academics, that's through education. Don't let anybody tell you that you selling out because you got good grades, or you weak, or you whack, or you soft because you got good grades, because you mannerable. And then education, what I was just talking about. Formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. You know what I'm saying? So getting education, self-education, African-centered education, knowing about your people, knowing that you come from kings and queens. That's what it's all about. Those are principles. Yeah. Don't be scared. Right.
So I have a question. What were some fears or challenges you faced as a young Black man?
Fears and challenges I faced, I would say, standing out. Everybody tries to fit in, and a lot of times when you thinking about being your age and being young, you want to be popular, want to be liked by everybody. But you got to realize, you're not a Facebook or Instagram post, you're not a TikTok page. You can't go through life looking for everybody to like you. You know what I'm saying? So recognizing that aspect of your identity, being able to stand out, and a challenge I faced that really revolutionized my life. I was not too much older than you all were. At about your age now, I was about 15. And my father wasn't in my life. Parents were divorced. Question becomes, how do you play a role if you weren't given a script? Mm-hmm. How do you become a man if you don't see one, much less interact with one? And, if we had the movie The Color Purple on the screen behind me, I tell you, just like Sophia, all my life I had to fight. Y'all probably don't know about no Color Purple. Y'all looking at Avengers or something like that. Right. So, I was having chest pains as a kid, and, they don't really give us a space and place as boys becoming men, especially as Black boys, to cry, to talk about this is the pain I'm dealing with, to talk about the fact that, hey, I'm hurting. You can't really in America, much less in your communities, a lot of times talk about, hey, this hurts me. I feel, kind of like I want to cry. I feel like I want to deal with this situation right now. And I was having chest pains, watching a football game over my friend's house. It happened for about 2 weeks. Long story short, I'm sleeping in class, and I pretty much love school. What's your favorite subjects? Math. Reading? Okay. All right, y'all better than me. My favorite 2 classes in school were gym and lunch. You know what I'm saying? I love to chase the girls in gym, sit down, eat with them at lunch. And I'm having these chest pains. I'm watching that football game, like I was saying. His mother has to take me to the hospital. My mother meets me there. It felt like somebody was stabbing me in my chest. The doctors did a X-ray, and they saw my cells as they took me to surgery were growing so fast they could see them growing with the naked eye. Around my heart, my trachea, my esophagus, my voice box. Felt great coming out of surgery. I'm like, hey, I'm about to go back to school and go to gym and lunch. He says, no, Eddie, you have what we call NHL. I'm like, I'm getting ready to be the youngest owner of a National Hockey League team. I'm talking about, the Red Wings? You bet. Okay, cool. He said, no, you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm like, my first language is Ebonics. I'm still trying to learn English. What you mean? He says, you have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, stage 4 cancer. You know, I'm starting my life at 15. Now I'm fighting for my life to live. And chemotherapy, radiation, lost all my hair, my self-confidence, my self-esteem. My own father never visited me one day in the hospital. People I thought were praying for me were literally praying on me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like giving up. I felt like throwing in the towel. You talk about black men will rise. I felt defeated. You know what I'm saying? And so by the grace of God and a praying mama, I was able to rise above that situation and find the can in cancer. You know what I'm saying? And overcome that challenge. I learned this. Challenges create champions. You know what I'm saying? There's a champion on each inside of each and every single one of y'all. You're going to be hit with challenges. You're going to face challenges in life. But you got to keep going. Sky's not the limit for you. It's just a view. And so I'm blessed to be cancer-free, man. It's 2023. It's 23 years being cancer-free. So it's a blessing. Yeah.
Okay. How did you keep going through everything you was going through?
Determination, faith, you know, because I was depressed, you know, with your father not there, the person who you look like the most, seemingly cares for you the least. Then you're dealing with self-doubt, self-pity, you know, and all of that is tough. I remember years after I came out of cancer, I saw a guy who I remember from church and the community and school. He walks up to me. He don't say what up though. He don't say what's good, bro. He don't say, hey, what's happening. He says to me, I thought you died. Now, those are fighting words. You know what I'm saying? I felt so angry. I don't think I've ever been as angry as I was at that time in my life. My fist was balling up, right? I don't know if you ever been in a fight before. I used to fight in school a little bit. I don't condone fighting, but I was about to have a fighting moment. I was about to have a Will Smith, Chris Rock moment. And I wasn't going to be Chris. You feel me? But even before I knew what emotional intelligence was, I had to exercise that. I had to say, all right, you know, I'm going to calm my nerves. I'm going to, whether it's deep breathe, I'm going to just find some way to relax in this situation. You know, to hear those words, it reminded me so many people who gave up on me. And guess what? I was one of the ones who almost gave up on myself. You know, so reminding myself of who I am. Yeah, I think we got to affirm ourselves. The world always wants to put you down. The world always wants to have a negative stigma and stereotype of black boys and black men in America. We got to tell ourselves we're kings. We got to not hate on each other. We got to celebrate each other. We got to work together. That's why this is such a powerful moment right here. Young brothers doing a podcast. Most people are not going to even think about doing a podcast till they're 30, 40 years old. Y'all doing it young. You know, this is business. This is an opportunity. This is an investment. You know, hearing from young brothers like yourself who are overcoming the challenges in life is what it's all about. And so that self-determination and affirming yourself is what helps you to overcome challenges.
What is something that you could tell us not to give up or encourage us?
Yeah. Hey, listen, y'all ask some great questions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all asking us great questions is generally what I hear when I'm doing other podcasts. And so what I would tell you all, keep your dream. What's your dream? You know what I'm saying? I think the poorest person in life is not the one without a dime, it's the one without a dream. You know, your dream is what keeps you alive. Your dream is what keeps you going. Having that vision for your future. Every man has to have a vision. Every boy has to have a vision. Where do you see yourself going? Right? And where you see yourself going, you have to now focus on who are you surrounding yourself with. If you're around people who don't have any success, around people who don't want to be successful, around people who don't want to have any dreams, any goals, they're going to stop you from getting there. Right? If you hang around 9 broke folks, I guarantee you'll be the 10th one. You know, so having a rich mindset, not a broken down mindset, not a broken down mentality. Everything that you need is within you. Your vision, your goals, your dreams, your ideas, right? Increase your ideas, your income, your impact, your influence is what it's all about. And you all have the power of social media. How you're able to create and craft your image. right? You don't allow people to define your image. You define your image for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So as I talked about, what's your dream and what's your goal? I want to hear from y'all. What's your dream? What's your goal?
Well, my goal is to first make it out of college with a good degree, and to make something for my family.
That's good. That's good. What do you want to major in?
Don't know yet.
Okay. Cool. You gonna figure it out, my brother. Noah, L.A. I got it.
Make it out of college and get like be a NFL player so I can help my mom, cause we be struggling just with me and her, cause my dad is going cause he's in jail, and I just want to help my mom with certain things, give her a good house, take care of her, and all those things.
I love that, bro. That's powerful. You know what I'm saying? Your mom's gonna thank you for doing that. You know, and sometimes that's the spark. The challenge is a spark to become the champion. I love that, bro. You're gonna do it too. You doing it now. DJ, go DJ. That's my DJ.
I hope to get to the NBA one day and help my family out. Cause even though we're like financially stable, you know, just want to make something more out of myself.
Yeah, I like that. I got to see what you got on the court on Wednesday. All right. You shaky. Okay.
We got good fundamentals, man.
That's cool. Hold it down in the court and in the classroom. That's what it's about. You know. Notice this, and I think much of you all mentioned that you're part of athletics. Notice that you're called a student athlete. You know what I'm saying? A student before the athlete. A lot of times we get so caught up in the court, but we don't do what it takes to be successful in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? So thinking about, you know, as much as I got to do the sprints, as much as I got to run, as much as I got to get in defensive stance, as much as I got to be on the gridiron and tackle the right way, you know what I'm saying? I got to tackle that work. And y'all are doing that. Y'all got better grades than I did at your age. You see what I'm saying? So just keep on going. I ain't going to take over the interview.
I have a question about college. So obviously your name starts with doctor, which means you have a doctorate. How long did it take, and was it very challenging for you?
These are astute questions, man. These are astute questions. I love it. Number one, I never wanted to be a doctor. Never wanted to hold a PhD at all. I did go to Eastern Michigan University as on probation. Yeah, you Eagles, we fly high. Yeah, the main where we're doing this podcast now is my main man Gerard, who was actually an inspiration to me on the campus of EMU. His poetry, his words of I think your words create your world, and you know, saw how he used his words to create his world, and now we're experiencing his vision as we're here. You know, so we're doing Black Men Rise, Black Men Will Rise, owned by a black man in this building.
On Freedom Street.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, on Freedom Street. Come on, man. Come on, man. As they say, that'll preach. You know, so it was a lot of challenges academically because I went to EMU on probation. You know, I told you my favorite two classes in school were gym and lunch. My grades reflected that. You see what I'm saying? And so I graduated with like a 2.6 coming out of high school. But my first semester, I said, if I don't do what it takes, I won't be on this campus. I had a 3.7. You see what I'm saying? And I was able to parlay all that into real focus, into success, into the responsibility, identity, success, and education aspect. And so I got my bachelor's in history, focused in secondary education, taught high school for about 12 years. I was working on my master's, focused on African American males and reading issues. Reading is so important. As you said, your favorite subject is reading. I developed a literacy program because I think every mentorship program has to have a literacy program component. What is it for our brothers to know how to shake hands and look at somebody in the eye and tie a tie, but you don't know how to read? You see what I'm saying? And so reading affects job placement, employment, and just you being able to navigate your world. And so did that, and then went back and got the PhD, focused on as well, education and African American males in reading, because we're looking at prisons being built based on second and third grade reading scores. America doesn't want you to unlock your dreams; they want to lock you up. And America's incarceration nation, housing 95% of the world's prison population, but also disproportionate warehousing of young black men like ourselves in the prison system. And so being able to unlock your dreams and unlock your vision through literacy is what's important. So there was a lot of challenges. Did I feel like studying all the time? Absolutely not. Did I procrastinate sometimes? Absolutely. Right? But I had that stick-to-itiveness and said, I'm going to keep on going, keep on making it. Had some setbacks, but your setback is set up for your greatest comeback. And I'm using, as W.B. Du Bois said, the talented 10th must invest into the 90 of society. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to earn, but it's another thing to learn. And once you earn and learn, then you must return back to your community.
What about these books? What is about the books that you made?
Yeah, this is my 14th book, which is this one here. This is the previous one, 13th, and I think this is like my 6th or 7th book right there. I never wanted to be a writer. I wrote my first book with a dollar and a dream in my name at a dorm room on the EMU's campus, Eastern Michigan University. And my mother was hounding me. You got to write your story. I'm like, I don't want to share my story. I don't want everybody to know I used to have cancer. There's nothing to hang my hat on, no badge of honor at all. And I wrote it begrudgingly to say, all right, I'm going to get mama off my back and I'm going to just write this book. It's called Finding the Cane of Cancer. And as I was writing, I was healing. As I was writing, I was exploring the fact that I had a lot of bitterness towards my father, who didn't show up for me, who not just divorced him, not just when they got a divorce, he divorced himself from me to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? And so it became a therapeutic moment for me to write my story out. And after people do their first book, the second one, everybody's asking, when's the second one coming? So these are a few books right here. Dear Queen is a 2-volume set focused on uplifting black women in America. This one is Jewels of Wisdom, Love Yourself and Know Your Worth. This one also brings black men into the equation in regards to our relationships with black women, how to wear your crown, walk in authority and authenticity. Malcolm X said the most neglected, unprotected, and disrespected woman on the planet is the black woman. And so oftentimes when we as brothers stand on the sidelines, our sisters stand on the front lines. And so it's how to celebrate, support, and work in tandem with our sisters. And then this one right here, The Mask of Masculinity, How Men Can Reclaim Their Identity, Lead in Love with Vulnerability, was probably one of the most touching books I wrote. It was what I needed the most. Sometimes you can't give anybody a prescription until you first take your medicine. And so looking at the whole aspect of us as men, it's hard work being a man, but it's heart work. We got to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's strength. It's being able to talk amongst your brothers. It's being able to connect. It's being able to support one another. It's being able to recognize your identity and recognize that we're more like Clark Kent than Superman. We're more like David Banner than the Hulk. We're more like T'Challa than Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Unless we take off the cape, it'll be a chokehold. If we don't take off the mask, we're going to suffocate on our past. And so it's about developing who you are, even in your youth, to where as you mature, you understand that a man is a mature, assertive nurturer.
So on the subject of books, did any of the 14 that you made fail?
No. That's a good question. I would say I have learned in my writing process of things that I could perfect. To a lot of people, they wouldn't necessarily see, okay, there might have been a few mistakes in my early books. I should have done certain things this way. Most people haven't really said that or expressed that. But I know in my development, in my creative process, I would have done certain books certain ways, but I wasn't there yet. You know what I'm saying? Nobody starts at the top. started from the bottom, now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? 0 to 100 real quick. We want to do that, but it's a progress. And so being a part of the process for the progress, is what it's all about and what is important. So now I've been able to kind of navigate the space and place of how I need to do certain books and this, that, and the other. And it's kind of like an assembly line process. I know how to make it happen, know how to make it pop, know how to perfect the craft.
So what is some advice that you wish you would have received as a young male?
Good question. Some advice I would have wish I would have received as a young male. I wish I would have received some advice on valuing money. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to spend everything you get. I always wanted to be G'd up from the feet up, had to fly kicks. A lot of times we just doing it to impress the girls. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have known about the process of why it's more important to focus on your books than her looks. You see what I'm saying? And being able to take that money and invest it. I wish somebody had taught me the value of creating a business while I'm young. What's the process of that? What's a 501c3? What's a DBA, doing business as? Right? What is investing all about? What's stocks all about? You know what I'm saying? I didn't learn that in school, and then I also didn't have other mentors who taught me that. We are only generally able to teach based upon our knowledge level. And so being a person who would actually have more initiative and focus on something just beyond sports and athletics, thinking about other careers, and so those are some things I wish I would have known. Life teaches you in two ways, mistakes and mentors. Better learn from the mistake of a mentor than to make your own. Yeah.
That's my question.
What are 3 steps a black man can take to set himself up for the future?
That's good. Well, your name is Noah, so you got to build. Noah built the ark. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. So I think you got to build your future, and I think building your future is getting a picture of your future. Life teaches you in the whole aspect of a vision is purpose in pictures. What's the vision that you have that you want to build? I think that's one of those ways. Developing a vision, writing out your goals, but also your action plan. Statistics suggest only 5% of people write down their goals. Of the 5% that do, 95% of the time they end up completing it. Writing your vision, making it plain so that it is not PLAIN, it becomes a PLANE. Right? So you're able to soar to a new level. Another thing I would say, taking time to invest in reading. Literacy is key, is important. They say the average millionaire reads at least 30 books a year. Generally, by the time post-high school, the average African American has only read 1 book in their lifetime post-high school. Right? So imagine being 29 books behind every year, 30 books behind because you only read 1 post-high school. So reading books on business, reading books on investment, reading books on self-development is so important because it helps to nurture who it is that you are. So a vision, I would also say literacy development, and then mentorship, looking for mentors. Surrounding yourself with brothers who are where you're trying to go. And now you're able to reach out via social media to virtual mentors. And so I think having that initiative to go after what it is that you want. You see yourself being a lawyer, you need to get around other lawyers. You need to get around individuals who are where you want to be. Yeah.
What are some questions that you want to ask us?
Okay, you flipped it on me. Okay. Take that and rewind it back. Okay. Where do you all see yourself going with this podcast? What's the vision?
Well, to bring people together
Mm.
and bring black males together as a group, because a lot of people want us to like separate and be our own. So the plan is to bring people together.
I love it. I love it. Do y'all agree with that, or you got?
And
Okay.
probably to inspire others to like not be afraid
Mm.
of certain things in their life.
Okay. He said, "I second that." All right. Who are some of the people who inspire you? Because you talk about black men will rise. Who are some black men who inspire you? Who you look up to? Known, unknown, whoever it is. I want to hear from all of y'all.
My
My
dad.
uncle.
But we start.
My dad
Your dad.
and the things he's taught me and the times that we get to see each other. Because my mom isn't married to my dad.
Okay. What has he taught you?
How to be tougher.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle, because he told me a lot of things to do in life, goods and bads, what not to do and what to do. He taught me a lot in football, that's why I love it. And he taught me how to take care of my mom and my family since my dad wasn't around when I was little and he went to jail.
That's awesome. It's powerful.
Somebody that inspired me is my granddad, because even though he had lung cancer, he kept pushing. He always worked and cared about the family and made the money for the family, because my grandma had an amputated leg. So he was the one that was really working around the house.
It's powerful. And a lot of times we think the people who inspire us have to be celebrities. You know what I'm saying? But these are oftentimes the unsung heroes. Father, uncle, grandfather. My grandfather inspired me too. God rest his soul. Harry Smith Jr., he told me, he said, "Eddie, you'll never have to tell anybody how good you are. If you're good at what you do, they'll tell you." Mm-hmm. Right? So walk in that power of humility, but also confidence too. And taking all of those ingredients, keeping that not just always in the back of our mind, in the front of our mind too, and using that as an inspiration. If your pops could make it, if your uncle could make it, if your grandfather could make it, what are my excuses? You know, a lot of times we have more than what they ever had, and we're doing less with what they have. Right? So recognizing that we can do more because you're more than a conqueror. See what I'm saying? And reminding yourself that, and that's why you have all these people who are here, who really love you, who really care for you, who really support you, who want to see you even be better than them. Right? Great mentors, great parents are transparent. They want you to go farther than they ever did, and they're giving you the tools to go to the next level. And so we got to be like those eagles that soar and rise to the next level.
So before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you, what are some words of encouragement that you would give to the youth?
I would say, listen, no dream is unreachable. No vision is unattainable. You know, you have to see yourself as unstoppable. Right? You have to have that relentless mindset that say, I'm going to get it. When it comes to school, when it comes to class, when it comes to my career, I'm going to do what it takes to be successful. I'm going to surround myself with people who are going in the direction of the vision and the dreams that I also have. Right? It's that self-belief. It's that competitive drive. Every single day, what can I do to get better than yesterday? You know, and the success is when you lay your head on your pillow that night, you say, I did what it took all day today to be a better young man, to be a better person, to be a better son, a brother, right, a nephew than I was yesterday. And so it's that belief, is that vision, is you putting in the work, right? A lot of times work is just a bad word for us because we just want everything to come to us by osmosis. We want everything to just come to us because we think we all that. you know, we got to put the work in. If you work, it'll work out. Right? Every single day. What am I dedicated to? Not just being celebrated, but dedicated to my education. Am I reading something? Am I listening to something? Am I around somebody who can inspire me? And what am I doing to put that into practice? Right? So you think about all the greats in any type of field, they worked. Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers, he said, it takes 10,000 hours to be a master at your craft. That's about 5 to 7 years of consistency, frequency, dedication. Are you willing to put that time in to master your craft, to be the best you that you can possibly be? When you do that, can't nobody stop you.